All right, I guess I'm up. It's my day today. You know, it's funny because when I prepare talks and when I take classes and all these things that I do, I'm so grateful that I can continue to expand. Life's journey never ends for me. It's just all about learning more and growing and taking chances. And when I say chances, I mean just expanding my mind in a different way to see if there's something new I can learn. And got to spend time again yesterday with Grandfather Golden Eagle, who's going to be part of our telethon. And it was a whole different way of looking at life, listening to him and listening to the person he was blessing who was on her way to India. And it's okay, it's good. Everybody needs to reach this thing called God, whatever you want to call it, in their own way. There's no like one path. And if anybody tells you there's one path, then I don't know, for myself, I start to back off, because what I know is we each have our own individual path, and no one can find that for us but ourselves. So as I'm speaking today, some of the stuff I say might resonate and some of it might not, and that's fine. And when I speak, I'm speaking more almost for myself. That's what happens. You're saying the things, what do they say? The teacher teaches what the teacher needs most to learn. And so the topic today is about gratitude. Okay. It could be like an old thing that you go, oh, gratitude, I already know that, and blah, 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 and where can I go with this that's different than anybody's ever gone before? Well, I really can't. It is what it is. It's gratitude. But what I've learned about it is some different things. First of all, I love the word spiritual technology, because a technology means, in the essence of its definition, is the application of knowledge, skill, or method to achieve a specific purpose. The application of knowledge, skill, or method to achieve a specific purpose. Okay, it makes sense. So in that case, spiritual technology would be things like prayer, because you're getting skilled at prayer and you're using it for a specific purpose, and then you're repeating it, and your prayer is the spiritual technology. And we call it spiritual mind treatment. It's a spiritual technology. It works, and if we work it, right? And the meditation is a spiritual technology. It's something that we get to do to create that space within us that is aligned with that power, aligned with the good, aligned with the consciousness that we want to embody. And the more we practice it, the better we get at it. I wouldn't consider myself like I would like to become an advanced meditator, but I meditate every day. When I think of people that stay in meditation for 2 and 3 hours, I would like to get to that point. Right now, I'm not there. But it's something you just get to practice. And if it's 10 minutes, if it's 30 minutes, if it's 45, if it's an hour, whatever it is, if it's 5 minutes, it's a spiritual technology that helps us in our day to be centered and to move through our day in a different way because we're aligned. So gratitude is what I want to get to, because gratitude is a spiritual technology. But before I go there, this happened this morning, and I got a whole spiritual lesson about it. And it's happened to me before, but you know it gets cold on Kaua'i. Most of us don't have thermostats. Some of us do, but you don't want to get out of bed because unless you have like one of those heaters by your bed, which I don't, you're going to be cold. And then when you get in the shower feels really good, but then you got to get out of the shower, right? So one of the things I learned to do was to go to my YouTube and turn on the fireplace. Now, you're going to laugh, but I'm going to tell you that it works. When I turn on that fireplace, my temperature goes up, because my physiology doesn't know the difference between what's real and what I've imagined. And it's called embodied simulation, the brain's ability to mirror sensory experience simply through visualization and suggestion. So, if you don't believe me, if you're cold one morning and you happen to have YouTube or one of those things, those apps that can give you a fireplace, try it. It works. But what's more important about this is what we've learned from quantum science, that perceiving our future as already having happened creates the energy within us to magnify, and have that experience come to us, because the universe doesn't know the difference between what's real and what we imagine. And I know Patrick said, he asked me this morning, how much do you use your imagination? I was like, I don't think I use it enough. I don't think I sit there enough and really think more about what I want my life to look like as I'm growing and expanding. So I did that this morning, and it made a big difference when I sat there and actually imagined how I want to continue to live my life, what I want, the things in my life that I want to experience, all of that. And this is the thing. So this is where gratitude comes in, because gratitude, that's why we do gratitude for spiritual mind treatment for the 4th step, because gratitude's telling us it's already happened. But it's not enough, like, remember, when you're told, write 10 things you're grateful for every morning and 10 things you're grateful for every night, and you're going to shift your consciousness. I don't think that's necessarily true. Because I was in a class once, and this made total sense to me. The person said, okay, let's feel grateful about something. We're going to do a gratitude thing. And she asked us, think of something you're grateful for. And so you think of something you're grateful for. And then she said, where do you feel it? And nobody could answer her, because they weren't feeling it in their bodies. They weren't feeling it in their hearts. They weren't really feeling it. They were just saying the words. So when we make those lists, unless we take the time with each of those things to actually feel them and embody them, then it's not going to do us any good, because it's the feeling. What is it? Our intention goes out, and it's the feeling that brings it back to us. Because the feeling is what? It's vibration. And however we're vibrating is what's manifesting in our life. So this is not a condemnation of any kind. This is just saying, okay, like these days, I feel like we really need to get our vibrations up really high, because there's so much stuff coming at us that will suppress our vibration if we really buy into it and allow ourselves to kind of look at it and start to think that way and blah, 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 and put out that energy back at other people and stuff. It's just, ugh. So how do you keep your vibration high when you're doing that? It's just like, I'm not saying don't watch the news, but I am saying don't get so involved in it that you're lowering your vibration, because you're not going to do anybody any good by that. So gratitude. So there was a person, very revered, wonderful and amazing, named Jesus the Christ, right? And I quoted him last week. And now he's coming up in my mind again, because he understood gratitude as a spiritual technology. He just innately knew it. Because if you really look at his miracles, the first thing he ever did, like when he raised Lazarus out of the tomb, the first thing he did was give thanks. The loaves and the fishes, the first thing he did was give thanks, because he knew. And so I'm sure there's other spiritual teachers that know that too, and you're spiritual beings, and you can know that too, that when you give gratitude, really feel the gratitude, then there's nothing that could not happen in our lives. And it's not just woo-woo, it is actually wow-wow, like our podcast. So, what's his name? Cicero, am I saying it right? He said gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. That makes sense, because when we live in gratitude, really feel gratitude, then the other virtues, what are they? Compassion, love, joy, peace. There's millions of others, I'm sure. So it makes sense, if we're in gratitude, we're going to feel more of those things. We're going to feel more of life moving in us, and compassion for others. And I actually read that when we share gratitude with another person, when we actually sit with another person and we tell each other how grateful we are for each other, and I know for myself, I don't think I do that enough. I mean, I do it with Patrick, but I could do it more. What it does is it aligns our energy so that we feel more connected. I mean, we really need that these days. We need to feel more connected to each other. We need to feel this oneness feeling that we keep talking about. And gratitude is the way to get there. And also, it's not just woo-woo because it's scientific. I mean, they're proving it now, that when you experience the feelings of gratitude, you release these chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, all these chemicals, they call them the joy vibration or whatever they're called, the joy chemicals that help you to feel better about yourself, to feel better about life. It actually happens. It's not, and they investigated this by testing people and monitoring them. It's not like I'm not making this up. This is a spiritual principle that's been proven by science. So I don't know why we wouldn't do it, besides that, I'm going to say it, because it really, I didn't want to be judgmental today, and I'm being judgmental, but that's okay. And I'm going to have gratitude that I saw it, that I saw this whole thing about people not having food and how we are all wanting to get together and help those people. And I saw people in a text stream, not a text stream, on a Facebook stream. This is why I criticizing and judging these people that they don't even know. I mean, I don't get that, guys. I really don't, because we don't know what anybody's going through. It's just judgment, and it's assumption that is just so dangerous and isn't going to help us in getting this consciousness in a world that needs to be lifted up. So I think gratitude keeps us out of that. Gratitude that there's something we can do to help. Gratitude that people are helping. Gratitude that the food can be available. Gratitude that, that I can do something. Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I can do something, that I have the means to do something. I'm grateful, and yeah, so it's really important. It's so important. And I apologize for being judgmental, but I couldn't help myself. But I'll forgive myself later. So, yeah, I'll forgive myself later. So I got like 4 little tools we can use that before we get up in the morning, we can actually lay there and feel one thing that blesses us, but don't get up until we feel it. Like we feel this one thing that's blessing our life. That could be one thing we could do. The other one is, now, writing a paragraph to yourself about gratitude, if you can really feel it, if you're a writer and that really helps you to write it down, like I'm so grateful for my husband and this is why I'm grateful for him, for all these reasons, and I just until I feel it in my heart, I can see that could be helpful. And then the other one is, this is a really good one. Directing gratitude toward a person every day, somebody, random, just like actually looking in their eyes and saying, I'm grateful for you. Yeah, I think that the world will become the world that we envision when we can embrace it. So, and then this was interesting. This was like when you're challenged to say, thank you for showing me what I need to heal. You can take that one with you and look at that one. But I think we so much criticize ourselves when we're challenged, or we fall into a despair when it's just actually an awakening that we can be grateful for. So I am grateful that Dr. Joe Dispenza said this: when you thank life in advance, you pre-program your destiny. Gratitude is not something we do after life improves. It is the technology by which life improves. Thank you. I'm grateful for CSL Kaua'i and all of you. Thank you.